How do I evaluate either literally a painting that somebody's done or their drawing? Is to know, first of all, that every color has meaning. Like purple's a spiritual color, red is a color of emotion, yellow is energy, and so forth. So the colors carry meaning. Now, how does that help? Somebody draws chemotherapy as yellow energy flowing right to their cancer, they know intuitively this is good for them. And somebody else drew the devil giving me poison, okay? So it's fairly clear how much trouble they're going to have with that same treatment. Also, the past, present, and future are in the picture. And the different quadrants, like if I were looking at the page, the upper right is the present, the near future or recent past, the distant past, and the far future or death concept. And so what people put in those quadrants says something to me. And I can relate to that, you know, because if somebody said, where am I going to be next year? And they put that in the upper left, I'd say, that's where you're headed, see? Jung put it this way: the future is unconsciously prepared long in advance, and therefore can be guessed by clairvoyance. So, you know, the mystic is reading your consciousness and what you're producing, and it also appears in those drawings. Numbers, I always ask people, why do you have 5 rays of sunshine? Well, like one lady who was very depressed had 4 rays of sunshine. She said, oh, those are my 4 children. When I drew the picture for Elizabeth, she said, why is 12 important? I said, I've been doing this work 12 months. So again, the numbers, the colors, how you draw yourself, you know, to really look at and say to people, why don't you have any hands? You don't have any legs. How can you move? Oh, and you see, this is what's wonderful. There was a young man who drew his picture, and at the bottom of the page, his legs are cut off. I said, are you feeling stuck or trapped? You don't have legs. He said, turn the page over. And I turned it over, and his legs were on the other side. And you see, he's got good self-esteem. He doesn't fit on one page. And that's what's so wonderful. I like to give written instructions so people can't say, that's not what you told me, and find excuses. I mean, they had the instructions in front of them. For instance, a male engineer. You ask him to draw a picture. He handed me a full page of instructions, all written out on how to draw the picture he was supposed to draw. See, that's not unusual for a male engineer. If he's living in his head, you don't get a picture from him. But that had an impact on him, see. He went home and changed himself because he realized if that's my reaction to draw a picture, then I have to do something for myself. And he did. And I met his son 20 years later who saw me present that in a slide show, part of my lecture. And he was impressed and told me how much it had helped his father. So it's, again, sitting with the person. What's hard is when people email me, or mail me drawings, and I don't have them sitting next to me. So it's hard. Then I have to present them with lots of questions about what this could mean and that could mean, and, to get their interpretation. A simple, so you understand what I mean. A woman came in and said, I know you like drawing. She said, my mother's sister and I have breast cancer, and I have to decide whether I'm going to have a mastectomy or a lumpectomy. And I know you like pictures, so I drew this for you. She handed me a picture of a tree. Now, every branch on the tree ended flat. And my reaction was, this tree looks like it's been pruned. And she said, thank you, that means I should have a mastectomy. Now, you see, that was not me suggesting anything, just saying what she had drawn. But yet it obviously connected immediately with her consciousness and what that symbol meant to her, that she needed to, in a sense, give up a part and be pruned. So again, it's sitting with the person, going over the drawings and learning. And I even, if you're keeping a journal, I'd say draw a picture once a month of yourself and watch how it changes related to what's going on in your family and your life. Big, broad shoulders being the strong one, not having arms and legs. It's amazing. And I've seen this too, because I call it psychological genetics. Mama drew a picture for me when she had cancer. 8 years later, the daughter drew a picture. They're just about identical. No head, no arms. only half a body, and what they drew symbolizing the cancer in their immune system was just about exactly the same. It was amazing. And neither had ever seen the other one's drawing. I mean, these were drawn by, mama and daughter in isolation, so to speak, without anybody else knowing what they had drawn. So it's all these things that we pass on to our children too, and can empower them or weaken them about life. But it comes out in these symbols and then can be worked with because it's the patient's statement. And when I say worked with, I keep repeating, you rehearse and you practice every day to see what you can do to become the person you would like to be.